Hello and welcome to a tutorial for my Geography 9 class on how to read a compass rose. So a compass rose is this circle that you see right here. And on this circle we can plot different points. So here we have north. Now north is what's called a compass point. And we have four principal compass points, the most important ones: north, east, south, and west. And the four most important are called the cardinal points. Most important are north, east, south, and west. You may have heard many mnemonics for remembering these. We won't go into those right now. Between the cardinal points, so halfway between north and east, for example, we have what are called the ordinal points. So that would be this one here. Ordinal. The ordinal points borrow their names from cardinal points. So we have north and east come together, and in the middle we have northeast. And we can do that for every single one. So we have southeast, southwest, and northwest. Now you'll notice that these ones that are vertical, north and south, are the ones that give the first name, and the east and west give the last name in an ordinal point. So, as you might be able to see, northeast and southwest over here are opposite directions. So if you were going this direction on the compass point, you would be going northeast. If you turned around and headed the opposite way, you'd be going southwest. And the same applies for northwest and southeast. So now you may notice that this is a fairly simple drawing. What happens if you're falling in the middle here? Or you don't want to go just north, east, south, or west, or even northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. You want to go between. Well, then it gets a little bit more complicated and we start adding more letters. So here we have north, northeast. North is because it's closest to the cardinal point north, and northeast because it's close to this ordinal point. So we take the cardinal point and the ordinal point and we put them together and we get the halfway point between, which is north, northeast. Or if we went between northeast and east, we have east, northeast. Now you'll notice we always say the most important one first. So the east comes first, then, because that's the cardinal point, and then we get the ordinal point afterwards. So when we have opposites again, east, northeast, opposite is west, southwest. All right, so you may say, okay, well, what happens if I want to go in between? Well, this is when this system becomes complicated. And I'll just show you what that might look like. Scrolling down here. So here we've got north by, oh, I can't read that one, sorry. North, northeast, northeast by north. And they use by to indicate that it's between. So the one that it's closest to comes first. So northeast by east, northeast towards the eastern section. So northeast here. This one is northeast by east. So it's saying basically you're going a little bit east of northeast. And same with these ones. North by east, so a tiny bit east towards the east cardinal point. So you can see that this gets quite complicated quite quickly. So people came up with a quicker way to do this. Just one second. Let me scroll back up here. And they use degrees. So just like in a circle has 160 degrees, we can divide our compass rose here up into a circle of 160 degrees. Now 0 and 360 are identical. So 0 equals 360. And these degrees are called compass bearings. So if you've ever heard somebody say, I'm trying to get my bearings, that is where this phrase comes from. They're trying to find out their directions and kind of get themselves oriented, probably on a compass rose. So with compass bearings, they actually measure these same angles, but they can be much more precise. So we could go to 0.1 degree on this, or 0 degree, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, and we would have a very precise knowledge of the direction that we were taking. So we've got our principal points now become north equals 0 or 360. East becomes 90, and we're always orienting ourselves to north, which is 0. So if we go down around the circle to east, we come to the 90-degree angle. So 90 degrees, I should put the degree marks there. And then around from north down to south, we come to 180 degrees. And then up from south to west to 70 degrees. And then we can go right back up to north, which would be 360 if we wanted to go all the way around the rose. But we'll just call it 0 just to make it simpler. So you can see that our cardinal directions have their own numbers, as do our ordinal directions. So we could plot those out very simply. So north, east is between north and east. Half of 90 is 45. North to east, halfway. Then we can go halfway to north-northeast. 22.5 is half of 45. Now, this same trick does not work when we are doing the other ordinal points, because every time we're going around the circle. Unlike the compass points where we can go into opposites, now we're working with 360 degrees, and we're only going to go around the circle going up by the numbers. So going up to 360. So 22.5 north-northeast, 45 northeast, east-northeast 67.5. So you can see 22 plus 40, 22.5 plus 45 equals 67.5. So that's that's the midway point between northeast and east. So that's east-northeast. And we do the same thing going around. So 180, we'd add 22, gets us to south-southeast, add another 22, or if we wanted to go directly to the ordinal point, we add 45 to get us up to southwest. So if you wanted to think about this in terms of cardinal points, go up by 90s. Ordinals go up by 45. So here we have, from a cardinal point, I should say. So north to northeast, 45, northeast to east, that whole thing is 90. And then the secondary, we'll just call them that, 22.5. So you can see this is much more precise than using compass points. because we can go on individual degrees and get a more specific angle rather than having this more general angle and getting all confused when we go in between. And that is our quick summary and tutorial for the compass rose.